Oh, it's now? Okay. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming out to Serenity's Nest. Thank you to Serenity's Nest for having me. This first part of the night will be the Black Woman versus the World podcast portion. The focus is Foreword for Forward again. It's opening the year with soul, creation, and intention to grow and facilitate positive change. So we'll be talking about a few different topics. If you guys would like to join me up here and have conversations, just come to the stage and chit chat. I have some laminated things around the venue that have a QR code that you could just type on your phone, but I know the service ain't the best out here. So it's probably better if you just come up here and chit chat with me if you like. So my podcast was started. The origin of it was about discriminatory experiences I've had throughout my whole life, but most recently with my last corporate job in America. So a lot of my topics and things I talk about on the podcast are based on my personal experiences. Not all discriminatory, but some of them are, because they open conversations that are uncomfortable for some people. And I feel like when you have uncomfortable conversations, you can facilitate positive change. So my first segment, I always title them off of personal experiences, is called The Subject is Closed. The title came from a conversation I had with my former supervisor where I was requesting something and speaking to him about discriminatory experiences I was having in the workplace. And he shut the conversation down. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, that little line 8, I thought it was kind of funny. My friends and I laugh about it all the time. So whenever I'm either done with a topic or it's something that's pretty much like a closed topic for me, my opinion on it is how I feel about it and it's not changing, I always say the subject is closed. So today, the topic of conversation is about customer service here in St. Croix and just humanity and treating others well. So over time, while living here and visiting other islands, it's been my observation that service times in most establishments are pretty slow. Particularly, I've had a lot of issues with being treated differently. Sometimes when people hear my accent, they realize I'm from the States, but I don't think that that's the main reason. I think that customer service just needs growth in general. I've heard from a lot of people who are born and raised here that it's a complaint with a lot of establishments. So it's not just something because I'm from the States or anything like that. A random example of something that happened to me. One time I went to a store. I was looking for some bug spray, and there's like 2 separate parts of the store. The other part is like a garden area. One of the employees had sent me over there, and the lady was confused. She was like, I don't know why they would send you over here if they've been working here. Like, they must be new or something. And she described the person. I'm like, no, that's not who sent me. I described the person who did. She was like, I don't know why, but she sent me back where I was supposed to go correctly. I get back into the store, and I see some of the workers just like aki-keying and laughing about it. So it seemed like it was kind of intentional. But I'm not sure what their motivation was about it. But either way, it's like either you don't know what you're doing if you work there and you don't know where things are. So, you should probably be doing better training or better things at your job. Or the customer service just really lacks. Maybe they were having a bad day. Maybe they thought it was funny. Who knows? Either way, I just feel like the golden rule is that you should treat people how you want to be treated. So me personally, it's not something I appreciated. And I've realized that a lot of managers here too and higher ups don't necessarily care too much about customer service or how their workers are being received or how the service is being received. So one of the questions that I have for people, I don't know if you guys can open up those QR code things, but the specific questions I have is, it says, island time is commonly used to explain slower service in the Caribbean, but what about when the issue is attitude rather than speed? Is that something that you've noticed in St. Croix or other places you've lived or traveled? What do you think causes it? And what do you think could realistically improve the situation? So the floor is open if anybody would like to contribute their thoughts. Yes, I will repeat the question. So, island time is commonly used to explain slower service in the Caribbean, but what about when the issue is attitude rather than speed? Is that something that you've noticed in St. Croix or other places you've lived or traveled? What do you think causes it? And what do you think could realistically improve the situation? I'll leave the floor open before I give my answer. It's like a 3-fold question. I'm a yapper. I'll be thinking about a lot of things, so. Miss Taniqua's coming up to answer. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Give her that mic. All right. Thank you for coming.
No problem. I'm listening to you. No problem. So, based on the question, I heard you say, like, in regards to slow time being referred to as island time, which we hear all the time. But what happens when it's not the time, it's the attitude? And no, it's not just an island thing. Because recently I had to go away to deal with my daughter and her health conditions and stuff like that, and sometimes for myself. And attitude comes from just non-recognition. If you don't look familiar or you don't fit into the scenario or the scenery, you get treated differently. You know, so when I went to the States and I went to the hospital, you know, there's amazing people, don't get me wrong. But then there's this selective few that look at you and then they tend to make their minds up of who you are and then treat you accordingly. Mm-hmm. For instance, you know, when dealing with my daughter, you know, I was listening to everybody. I'm already in shock. I'm already dealing with everything. And one group of doctors came in. They spoke to me amazingly. They happened to be African American, you know, mixed with other, you know, natives and stuff like that. But then another group, which was the neurology group, came in, and these happened to be Caucasians, you know, amongst other people and stuff like that. But the head of the group were Caucasians. So when they were giving me the list of medications that they were going to give my daughter, I said, first of all, I'm not just approving any medication. She's a little girl, and I want to first see the side effects. Not just the side effects that you tell me, but I want to read it in full, because I know that it's my right and her right to know. And based on the fact that I spoke up, now I'm an issue. Mm-hmm. So from that moment, it was like, how dare you? When anybody else speaks up about what they believe in, their rights, or anything in that sense, they get treated differently. Mm-hmm. And that's just that one scenario. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. You mentioned about going into a store. Mm-hmm. You know, how often do our black men and black women go into stores that are owned by different individuals, whether Caucasian, Indian, or whatever the case is, and based on the history or the reputation of African Americans, we get looked at. Okay, but you go. You can zoom in over there because or you go into a nice boutique. Mm-hmm. You know that you get the money. Mm-hmm. You know that you get that. You see that pretty dress. You see that pretty shirt. You see them shoes. And you looking, you browsing. And they're watching you. Their face is made up. Then you're asking for help. And it's like, what you need my help for? Mm-hmm. You don't even belong in here. How can you tell me where I belong? Mm-hmm. You know, this situation not only happened to me, but happened to my children. Mm-hmm. I'm shopping. They're browsing to see something that they might like to bring to my attention. And somebody was like, excuse me, if you ain't gonna buy that there, stop touching it. So I got upset because how can you tell a shopper not to touch something, especially a rainbow? Rainbow ain't no place to be talking about. You understand me? So, she could go over there, see something she likes. Her hand ain't dirty. She's stealing and bring it to her parent to show. You understand me? Exactly. So, in reality, the answer to your question is, first answer to your question, because you asked two questions. Mm-hmm. You first asked if it's a regular thing or an island thing, or is it worldwide? And then you asked about the solution to it. Mm-hmm. So it's not just an island thing. It's something you find all around the world. Mm-hmm. Basically, if you don't fit into their scenario or the atmosphere that they're built, because they already have a certain image of who they want to come in here. Exactly. So that is what happens in those moments. And that happens all over the world. Yep. It's sad to see. You know, customer service could be way better. You know, people go to work and think that they're just there and they're supposed to get paid. Well, if I stop coming in there, and if Ninja P stop coming in there, and if Positive stop coming in there, and Shar stop coming in there, guess what? Your business is closed. Exactly. You have no business at all. So, the way that it can change, though, this is my opinion, is people just start to take that shield, that chip, off their shoulder and dust it off because you're no better than me.
Exactly.
Even if your bank account is higher than mine, who's to say that I didn't have the same opportunity to be where you are and I chose differently? Who's to say that you don't know what I have to offer? My quality is deeper than money.
Exactly.
You know, I can offer what you could never offer. When your bank account goes dry, I'm still rich and pure inside.
Amen. I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a wonderful response. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Literally everything she said, y'all. Yes. I don't think that it's just the island thing. I just thought it's something that we should bring up, obviously, because this is where we're at. But yeah, no, I've experienced it in the States more than here. So, yeah, I agree with you 100%.
But I really wish that they would change. Here in islands, I feel like, especially due to the fact that we're welcoming so many newcomers to this paradise.
Yes, it's a beautiful place.
Why is your energy, or your zenergy, as Serenity's call it, why is it not matching where you are?
Exactly.
You know, when I go and order a sandwich, I don't want what it is you want. No,
Exactly.
excuse me. I deserve a smile too.
Just a little something.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Wendy's. What may I take your order? What is so hard with that? I understand that you're going through what you're going through. We're all going through something.
Yep.
But could you imagine me, Shar, coming to you? What happened? How come you talking to me for? Because I had a bad day?
Exactly.
Did you do me anything?
Nope.
No.
It had nothing to do with it.
All right then. So I feel it should just be, first of all, when you're going into a professional place, let the personal stay at home. Get into that professional zone.
Exactly.
That's another part of answering your question as well. The chip on the shoulder and leaving personal problems out the door. And leaving race and color too. Discrimination, no. Let's done. It is 2026.
Exactly. I like that answer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. That was a very thorough answer. She answered all the questions. Bing, bing, bing. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes. Does anybody else have any responses to the question?
I do.
Alrighty. Yes, we welcome you. Come on.
Come.
I'm going to be listening.
I know this one here, she's excited to see my face.
Oh. Yes, I am. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, constituents.
Okay.
I got you.
There we go. Oh. You can hear? You got us? Okay. All right, we're in here. Introduce yourself. Once you get the mic on. Let the people know who you is.
Good evening.
Good night.
My name is Clemrick Bryan. I feel honored to be a part of this constituents.
We're grateful to have you.
First of all, I would like to honor the crochet hat.
Thank you.
It's my first time, I believe, officially meeting in a professional capacity in person.
Is it? You came to the last event.
Professional capacity.
So this professional now.
No,
Okay.
For me, it's me and you on the stage.
Oh, okay.
You know, you see the dialogue now?
It is a little more professional.
Yeah,
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Hold on, let me give a quick plug. Shout out to Be Unique. Crochet?
for sure.
Yes, that's her. BEE Unique Crochet. She made this. She's from St. Croix. She's cruising. This was my hat for Juve, but y'all know shipping time to the island. It ain't come on time, so had to make some use of it. And it's beautiful. She did a great job. Okay, continuing on with the question.
It's real good. I would like to give my input in a personal aspect of the question. And I will start off by saying this. I believe one way to help assist the growth in community service here is allowing, and when I say allowing, I mean authentic love. Okay? We all have to have authentic love. And that's what makes a culture melting pot quite seasoned. You gotta get your black pepper, your oregano, your onion, But unfortunately, I believe that we have been watered down by a really bad soup.
What's that soup?
The soup is bad mind and a toxic work environment. And it leads from the top, For a lack of better terms, SHIT only rolls downhill. Rocks only roll downhill. So being in the valley of decisions, it's very tough when you're down here at the coastline as a fisherman and have to deal with a runoff of environmental factors and lack of personal accountability. Seems like I'm jumping a lot, but I'm going to bring it back to society.
Okay.
Bring it back to the way I want to deliver this message. The work environment here, the customer service here is toxic, And the truth is, you can't quite pinpoint the source because it's being covered by toxicity. That's why it's so hard. You find great business, bad customer service, bad business, great customer service. Yin and yang. But where do we actually draw a line as a community, for lack of better terms, when we actually choose health, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, emotional health? Bruh, I could tell you this, we are healthy right now, but there's a lot of people that's yearning for this kind of knowledge, yearning for this kind of openness and conversation, only because of their experience through a transaction. Everything we do is transactional. So I don't understand why we don't, quote unquote, have great customer service when we live in servitude. The whole island lives in servitude, sharing with one another. Good morning, good afternoon. That's servitude. So that's my personal aspect in the question where, where do I see the gap in customer service in the Virgin Islands? I don't see a gap. I see a problem from the top. Toxic work environment starts from the top. You find great leaders, and I promise you, you will find great members. I don't say followers, because everybody have to choose what they want to do.
Exactly.
Said. Would you like to ask another question?
Well, I have more questions, but that wraps about that one up. Yeah. I appreciate the response. That's very thorough. Oh, you want to hear the next question? You gonna stay up here?
Why not?
Okay.
I'll take one more question.
Take one more question on my next one? Okay.
Less thorough.
Oh, well, I'm going to wrap up that question with just my personal opinion and touching on what everybody else said. Definitely agree with what Tanika said about if you are an outsider or you're not what fits the norm, people are going to have a problem with you speaking up about anything that you see. I definitely agree that it is not just a here thing. It is a everywhere thing. It's a more so of a human issue. I don't think that it's necessary specifically to any culture, but sometimes it permeates certain cultures more than it does others because of the status quo, because of what's normal in the culture, because of what people accept or don't. So I do think that it permeates certain cultures more than others. But in this particular culture, I feel like on St. Croix, I think if a resolution, because obviously everything that we're saying, I want it to be resolution oriented. When it comes to training, and like you said, it definitely starts at the top as well. If you have owners who don't care about the people who are, it's a community. I don't even like to say, like you said, followers, employees, any of those things. We're all helping each other out. If you are providing good customers, if you're a good leader, you're going to have people who are wanting to share the vision of your business and make sure that that gets out to the customers and everybody else who is partaking in your service or whatever you're providing. If those people are great, then the clients and the customers are going to keep coming back and all those things. It's a chain. It's a chain reaction. So
it takes two hands to
I
clap.
definitely think that when it comes to training and things like that, since everybody here on this island is very strong on Crucian and VI pride, if you frame it in that perspective and be like, this is how you're presenting yourself to the world and this is what you're showing St. Croix to be, I think it'll make people look at it a lot differently because there's so much pride in all the other aspects and portions of the culture. But I guess people don't think about customer service or day-to-day interactions like that. So in my opinion, I think if that's incorporated into the training and like the thought process of what people are providing along with the other things that were said by Taniqua and you, I think that it would build a better mind frame for people coming into work every day. And also, I just think if you're not a people person, don't do customer service. That's just my personal opinion. I think some people know that they're not built to be a face to people or talk to people every day. So if that's not something you enjoy doing, there are other options. Like you said, it's a choice. We're choosing to do these things. So that's my perspective on the subject that's closed. I'm going to wrap that one up. We're on to the next question. I'm going to move on to this one. So this segment is called Lyric Mysterium. I have not done it on my podcast yet, but I will be doing it. Oh. It came up in conversation with my friends and I, we were thinking about random songs. I don't know where it came up. We all have ADHD, so we stem a lot. We be talking about random things. We were singing The Way I Are by Carrie Hilson and Timbaland and some other artist. We were realizing how outrageous those lyrics were. And we're like, we can't believe that we were singing this when we were younger, that she even wrote this. So if you really dissect lyrics, I'm a musician, artist, so I listen to music and I also listen to lyrics a lot. So I pay very close attention to that. So that's a big deal for me when I'm ingesting and listening to music. And some of the stuff people be saying is kind of wild. So in the context of what I wanted to talk about today, I'm going to bring everything obviously back to where we're at. I think there's a lot of explicit content. It's not just music here either. Like I said, nothing is exclusive to here. I'm just relating it to here because this is where we're at. We're in St. Croix, so we got to talk about things. One of the things I noticed about a lot of music, especially when it comes to romance, specifically, I'm going to just say bouillon because I think Dominica, that's where it originates, right? Correct? Okay. I just discovered this in like June or whatever, so don't get me wrong. I'm about to say, but I love it. It sounds great. But when you start listening to the music, you'll be like, what is this promoting? What is we talking about? Like, we don't have nothing other than sex. Yep. Like, that is basically the main thing in a lot of genres. And that's not just here. It's very prevalent in hip hop and rap culture in the States as well. Mm-hmm. So, my thing, I'll go read my thing bar for bar so I don't forget nothing. Music has always been an expression of the human experience. And over time, lyrics have grown to be more explicit and raunchy with different societal movements and eras. Many artists influence the cultures where they are from and around the world, and it alters the way some individuals interact within relationships, usually emulating the lyrics and behaviors of their favorite artists. So my question to everybody is, how do explicit lyrics and topics in bouillon and other Caribbean music genres affect the culture and romantic relationships? If there were more love-focused songs, do you think people would listen to them? And this is open for also, you can talk about hip-hop and rap and American music too, because I think they're both as explicit. So that's why I'm supposed to play some little music samples so people can hear some of the lyrics, but that's okay. We just gonna leave it out. Y'all know what y'all be listening to. Y'all know what is popular and what we hearing on the radios and outside. So, would you like to answer that question as well?
Would you like my perspective on what you said?
Yes. All of the things.
I agree. But I would like to, correct one of your statements from earlier. I'm not a virgin islander. It's not a bad thing.
Okay.
I grew up here for a long time. I'm just not a native to the Virgin Islands, so I can't speak upon. I can only speak from my perspective.
Okay. Where are you originally from?
Wadadli, Antigua and Barbuda.
Okay.
See? Power.
How long did you live there before you came to the Virgin Islands?
Do you want to get personal or do you want me to answer the question?
Answer the question.
I got you.
We got to get to that. I just want to see the whole background so we know.
Because everybody else gonna know we're on camera. I am an operator. Okay. So I know how both sides of the lens go. Okay. So truthfully, I moved to the Virgin Islands when I was younger. I was just about the age of 10. So I've been in the Virgin Islands for quite some time. I'm about 31 years old now. And a few more months and maybe a few days and hours. But the truth is, I've been way older than my timeline. I'm an old soul in a young body. That's the smoothest thing to say. So, Mr. Brian, who was speaking upon the topic of music, I grew up quite religiously, so I want to put that out there. Because there's a lot of people who know me, and there's a lot of people who think they understand who I am. That's two different things. You know, the bells. Truth is, I love to explain lyricism, you know, and we all have emotions. You know, our emotions may be as colorful as the rainbow. But when it comes to selling a product in the terms of music, I don't support it. You know, I am a creator as well. I've done a lot of different genres of art through my eyes, lens, arms, body, everything. And I've realized that I only want to do what is, quote unquote, for lack of better terms, what is right. You know, and what is right, what makes me feel right. You know, and what makes me feel right is pushing an agenda based off of my emotions. But there's people who try to control emotional balance within the community by only promoting certain songs that control budget, it controls gain. Well, it just controls, you know, and I don't like to be controlled, you know. Yes, we all are leaders, so to be a leader, you have to be a quote-unquote follower. You have to be a student and a teacher at the same time. So, to exist within this environment as a adaptive native, seeing different sides of culture, seeing how music affects different regions, lifestyles, purity in life, mindset, you know, aptitude. Like, these are so much things music have an influence on. And music is just a frequency, just like the bells, the breeze, the step. It's just energy. And also, a lot of people direct this energy into a way where it's misconstrued and misinterpreted or even misused. But it's not misused, it's weaponized. So, hence the reason why you don't see me behind my camera so much. Because I've been weaponized from this same society that's looking at me right now. You know, in many different ways, and that's my perspective, and I stick to it. Suck salt. As a fisherman, bring the salt. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, truthfully, I think that we should pay more attention to what we promote and what we accept. Because what we want is not what we accept.
Drops mic. Okay.
And I say we as a community because I see a lot of my mother, she's from Antigua as well. So I'm going to say people who da cry blood. Okay? Fake tears. A lot of fake empathy. You know? I see pain when I look people in their eyes. But then I see shame when they can't support their own agenda. If your children don't support your music, that's a problem.
You're going to leave it there. Okay.
Yeah. That's my 2 cents. I got going
right. Thank you.
Myself.
Well, thank you. We appreciate all of your perspectives.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Does anybody else have anything they'd
Yeah,
like
I
to
got it.
comment on this question?
I don't want to say too much.
I think that people should really, really pay attention to what they push. I can't really speak too much about it.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Which help? Messing up the good materials. Okay. Sequoia is back.
Yes, so, you know, I listened boldly to your question and then also to his answer, you know, and his statements. You know, I respect the fact that he gave his identity, he took it out of the shadow, you know, he embraced himself and where he came from. But more than likely, this is my biggest thing. And from the time I was young, you know, this was taught to me, not just music, but the movies, the things that we watch. You know, it's not just sex, you know. Sex sells, yes, but that's not the major problem. You know, let's get real. That's what brought us here. That's why we sit there. That's how come we flourishing. You understand me? The big problem I have with lyrics is the violence behind of it. Don't you have anything else to rap about, sing about, other than who you gonna kill, who gonna kill who, how much bodies you done take, how deep you gonna put them, standing in front of the judge, all these different things. And what that does is, like he stated, music is vibration. So the vibration that you push is the vibration that you get. And here in the Virgin Islands, I'm a Virgin Islander, proud, born and raised. So I could speak on behalf of the people. When you push that out, you can't be upset when it comes back. And guess what? Take a look around you on your everyday on this beautiful island. I cannot speak for St. Thomas because I'm not a Tomian. Me born over here, I born over here. You understand me? So I speak based on my island. Just a few days ago, 3 people were shot dead. And my thing is, and I say this all the time, is it's become a regular norm. We brush it off our shoulders like it's nothing, like as if it's just another day. Why? Because it has become normalized. Just the other day, I wrote an article in regards to the fact that they've been making a crisis about fentanyl. So my thing is, and this is my opinion, Tinico Letitia Knowles' opinion, fentanyl is a drug. And drug users choose to use drugs. But when it comes to gun violence, a victim does not choose to be a victim. Even when they're in the streets doing whatever they're doing, majority of the time, they don't know what's coming to them. They don't walk in front of a gun unless they're crazy and say, come and shoot me now. You understand me? And even with fentanyl, I said, maybe, due to the fact that they're noticing taking this drug can take their lives, maybe it would decrease the amount of individuals that are doing drugs on a whole. And imagine the impact it would have on gun violence if every single gun backfired on the person pulling the trigger. They would think twice before picking up their gun. Because my partner dead when he tried to shot somebody else. You understand? He ain't going right around. You understand? So my thing is with lyrics and stuff like that, and music in a whole is the message. Just like when Bob Marley used to sing and stuff like that, you know, just like reggae in a whole. You know, big up to Ninja P. You know, his station pushes nothing but positive and just good vibrations. You know, and the people that are there headstrong. Positive is how we live. You understand me? But then the people are listening to this gun music, this drag by, they rap, they're ready, they want to go, they're thinking about the next lick. So if you're talking about shooting up a place, if you're talking about robbing a place in a song, guess what? And you mention something. What are you selling? What are you promoting? And guess what? You want to know the funniest thing, Sharon?
What?
That is exactly what is happening. Because in Hollywood and in the industries, the music industries, they are placed there to push a certain narrative.
Agenda.
Yes. You know, so their agenda, their narrative is let's attack these vulnerable individuals. They're already stuck in their ways. They already don't even know who they are, their history. You know, I was down at Yucca the other day, and I read a little message that was on the wall. It says, if our people knew where they came from, they would more accept themselves or treasure where they are right now.
Exactly.
That's like Queen Mary. She didn't get up, light her torch, and went out and burned down the place for style. She wasn't a crazy lady. She was in chains. She was a slave. Here on this beautiful island, had slaves. Every day, working out in the fields, hot, getting paid nothing, getting lash. And they fight it for our future. So now here in the Virgin Islands, you spoke about VI pride. You know, in your last question, you stated if that would be implemented into the training process, maybe they would take it differently. But in reality, Shar, after you have bred generations and generations of this type of mentality, it's I don't like to say idiocy, but in reality, that's what they are. they have come to the point where they have let the past go. Tradition is no longer. They have rewritten tradition. You know, you mentioned that's your hat for Juve. Juve was once a thing where the slaves was allowed to go and they was allowed to take a little free breath. You understand me? Same with the parades and all these different stuff. But now, and you saw it for yourself. They out in the street. So what's the difference between Juve and these lyrics? It was very sexual. From what I saw, next year, it's going to be naked people just sprawl out. And guess what? Nobody is going to say anything. Because why? It has become a norm. It's going to be to the point when they go and you get too much clothes, they're watching like, that's like when a reggae man go and he chanting and he scanting and he pushing a positive, there's like, what's this? Nobody in there yet? Me hear no shots, boss? What going on here? We need some. Listen, change the tempo. Change the tempo. DJ, fire the DJ. You know, say, DJ, get out of the station. We need somebody else. We need something that will make we ride. We don't hear that enough.
I hear it enough.
You know? So even so, let's get off of sex because, like I said, I know that it's explicit and it's meant for certain ages, but at the end of the day, Allah, we love it. That's what brought us here. That's what connects us when we're in relationships. So it's one thing to speak about it, and then it's another thing to exploit it, to like make it into something provocative to that point where it's like, you talking so much, it's like, okay, my ears.
Yep.
Pastor, come pray for me because what I just listened to was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
You know, I like it, but not that much. You understand? But in reality, Shar, the thing about it is, this is something, an agenda that was built up behind closed doors from powerful individuals that have gone down a vine that has led from this person to that person, and because they're seeing their idols, God said, no, I don't know nobody. He's a jealous God. You understand? They want to be like them. So if Shar is a millionaire, beautiful like Beyonce, on top of the stage, doing her thing, guess what? She got 1 million followers. That when they could do it, if they got talent, if I just sing like she, if I just say what she'll be saying, they gonna notice me too. Yeah. So this man, he got killed about 5 more people than the other one. He got get a bigger gun than that one. You understand me? This one gotta be more explicit than the other one. You understand? To the point that you get uncomfortable. You can no longer listen and appreciate music for what music was put there for. You understand? Which is enjoyment and healing, if you didn't know. There are some cultures where music is to heal the soul, the body, the mind, and soul. That's why when you listen to certain genres, like the young man said, certain vibrations, guess what? You feel nice and soothed. But you listen to Lil Baby and I can't name all of them, right? Because I don't listen to them. You ready to ride? You ready to go? The man that stepped on your shoe yesterday, if he only know what Lil Baby tell me yesterday, right? Coming in. You know, that's where we're coming from. Exactly. So, and if you ask the question as how it could be changed, well, people have to start to become more self-absorbent, like how you said you were sitting there and realizing, wait, hold up. What's going on here? Not just bowing and bobbing to the music. And sometimes people don't listen at all. They don't hear it at all.
I have no clue what the lyrics are.
You don't know the lyrics. You're still indigesting it. You're still taking it in. I like the mumble rapper who tell you that I know their breath. You still taking it in.
Exactly.
The tempo, the lyrics, and the drag behind of it all matters. So, to me, in reality, It has to be a change of mind, change of heart, and change of perspective. And just being an individual. Stop looking at somebody else and trying to be somebody else. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, like I tell my kids and my children, God forbid, kids are baby goats. I tell my children, when you live your whole entire life trying to please a crowd, nobody ever gets to know who you are. Mm. And then you're stuck feeling lonely. You're feeling like disconnected because if they only know, I truly don't like this song. I would have rather to sing opera. I would have rather to sing reggae or reggaeton. Let me just put it out there, different things. I would have rather be doing poems. Mm-hmm. You understand? I would have rather be just giving motivational speeches. But I felt like if I did that, they wouldn't even care about me. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even matter. They wouldn't even know my name. Mm-hmm. But in reality, that's a lie that was put there to hold you down, to shadow your power. Mm-hmm. And until we get back our power, it's going to continue, Mama. Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. Thank you. That was very well thought out. And I agree with a lot of that too. I think, trying to think how to phrase it, but frequencies are a thing too. A lot of people seem to not realize how much effort and stuff is put into the beats and the vibrations and the things that we listen to as well. You could have an instrumental that could still make you feel the same way and it wouldn't even have the lyrics, but the lyrics obviously add on to it, and that changes our perception of things. But I'm trying to think how to word what I want to say. I think I agree with you. I'm trying to think of like the best resolution. There's not really a lot of resolution. We're all individuals, so we all got to choose what we want to do, what we listen to, what we ingest, what we're doing. But yeah, it's got to be yourself. And people are never pleased. You said something about that too. It's like it's definitely not worth it to try to please people. Ain't nobody ever gonna be pleased by everything. So your best bet is definitely to focus on what it is that what pleases you. Attention is a drug as well. I feel like a lot of people are wanting.
Male perspective coming up.
Somebody coming.
Hear this one. I'm gonna sit on and listen. You know, give me the tea. Yes.
Hey now.
Good night.
Good night. Introduce yourself to the people.
I go by the name of Jay Hodge.
Hey now. What do you do?
I make music.
Hey now. So this is a good perspective to hear.
I'm a videographer as well.
Okay. And what is your opinion about this?
So what if I ask you this? Right?
Okay, ask me questions, man.
What's wrong with me going to the gym and listening to Lil Baby? It gets me motivated to work out.
What part of it is motivating? The beat?
The beat.
The lyrics?
The stuff.
All of it.
I'm not going to go through no drive-bys. I'm not about to rob nobody, but I get amped when I hear some of those songs and I'm working out. And then on that same playlist, my workout playlist, I got some death metal music where they're Satan worshiping people. And, but none of those musicians believe in that. They go home, live with their families. That's just their art form.
That motivates you as well while you're in the gym?
While I'm in the gym, yeah.
Okay. Why? What part of it is motivating? The vibration.
It fires me up.
What do you think about who you are makes you feel that way when you listen to it?
Well, how?
Motivated.
What makes
those specific songs?
Just
yeah.
When I'm in the gym and I'm working out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These guys is talking about coming up from the bottom. Mm-hmm. These guys is talking about coming up through the streets. Grinding.
Okay. So that part of the lyrics makes you feel motivated. Specifically in that context.
I mean, I don't even know the names of the songs, but once them types of
like the lyrics, the beats. Okay.
All right, boom. Next one. We pre-gaming for the party.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do drugs, but we're gonna play Future because that joint bump.
Right.
The sounds is we about to go out. We about to hit the streets. When we get in the car, we're gonna play some Pooh Shiesty.
Do you produce songs?
Yeah.
How do you choose to make your beats? What do you want the people to feel? What's your thought process while you're making them? You don't. You just think about yourself, yeah, right? So is that release?
I'm a vessel.
Okay.
So I'll play a sample or I'll play a chord,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just
flows
comes out of me. I'm not.
You don't
in
think too much
control.
into it. Okay. So it's just you being portrayed through the music, whatever your mood is, emotions, anything like that. Would that be pretty accurate?
When I'm writing,
Okay.
I'm usually writing either I'm telling a story, like maybe I'll combine a few stories that I've seen in a movie or something like that, or if I'm freestyling, it's going to be something that actually happened that day.
Right.
I want to get home and talk about this person at work that was giving me a hard time or something like that. But
So
it won't come out like directly that.
Right.
But it might sound like we about to go pull up on them.
Okay. So most of your music is a release. So you think...
Don't say most of my music.
All of it.
All my music is different genres.
My bad. I ain't listened to his music yet, y'all, so I don't know. You got to send me
Every
something.
album has a different genre.
Okay, I love that. So, if all of your music is a release, what do you think will be the difference between that and the stuff that's being pushed or promoted?
Okay. You watch horror movies?
No, not really.
You watch gangster movies?
Here and there.
Okay. So you watch black movies?
All black movies are gangster?
No, I'm just asking, do you watch black movies?
Define black.
Alright, let's not use movies. Alright, one of my favorite shows right now, Queen Sugar. You watch Queen Sugar?
I heard of it. My friend recommended it to me. Didn't watch it.
Okay.
I know.
I'm trying to think. Okay, action shows. Black Lightning. This is a family of superheroes.
Heard of it. Did not watch it. I know the premise.
It's a black family of superheroes.
Okay.
This is stuff that they're pushing, by the way.
Right.
We got our sitcoms. I don't know if we count Abbott. I don't know if can we count Abbott Elementary?
Abbott Elementary is.
Yeah.
Now you got me. You caught me there. There you go. I know that one.
Okay. So now, how you feel about the music, right? You choose not to participate in the music that you like, right? My aunt used to be a teacher in Philadelphia public schools. Just like that school that show is based on.
Okay.
She will never watch that show.
Why is that?
Because she went through that and she don't want to be traumatized.
Don't be traumatized. It triggers her. Okay.
You have a choice.
That's true.
As to what you consume.
Yes.
The artist is the artist.
That's true.
I don't necessarily think it's all.
So you're saying it's not always going to affect people. You're choosing to listen to things.
I think we need to let the kids be kids.
You think the kids are listening to good things these days?
I don't think it's. I think the more that we try to suppress the music or try to put our message on them, they're going to go somewhere deeper underground and find some even worse stuff.
I can agree with that. That's true. I think that's applicable for everything, not even just music.
So we got to be responsible for portraying our own children.
Correct.
Yes. So everybody's responsible for who they're connected to.
It's on us to teach our children accountability and teach them the consequence. Like my dad would sit me down while we're listening to Biggie Smalls and be like, all right, listen, this is what he said this and this and that. You're not about to do that. You better go get on that basketball court or get in them books.
Yeah, no, I can see your perspective because I think when parents try to control it, like you said, anything about control, it is going to push people to go discover things themselves.
My parents, they did a good job. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't get the albums with the parental advisory sticker. I wasn't allowed to have those till I was buying my own albums. Like, everything had to be the clean version if they was buying.
I like that.
It still don't matter. You know what they're talking about.
That's true.
I just get made fun of
the radio edits be ridiculous. They don't be covering up the lyrics well at all.
Yeah, but I do agree that over time, as I've been like from young to now, the lyrics have been getting worse and more raunchy. But I mean, how is it gonna? Eventually, it's gonna come to a point where, like how it's going now, you see that the younger generation that's coming up, more of them are going back into church.
That's true.
More of them are unplugging from
the stuff that they push.
And we're reaching that breaking point where, all right, enough is enough. Let's talk about something. Let's have some substance.
Yes.
It's coming.
That's very true.
It's a cycle almost. It's just
it's
a natural cycle.
Yeah.
Raunchy until it just
feels a little too much.
And then the artists are gonna fall in line because if they want to sell records, and the audience ain't buying that no more.
Got to go whatever they listening to.
Exactly.
I like that perspective. That's true. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I was on the music topic, so I felt like I had to.
You had to throw in there. Yeah, you do music now. You had to throw it in there. All right. I like that. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Follow me.
J Hodge.
Beats.
Yes, promote that music. Hey, now.
Next album just dropped on January 2nd.
You gonna be performing some music at the open mic portion? You're performing some music. We want to hear it. The people want to hear it.
Street shit.
Oh, the people want to hear it. You do? All right, come. Jabal. Yeah.
Oh, boom. I got it. Your face is covered, bro.
The man behind the camera. Introduce yourself. Tell the people what you do.
Good evening, everybody.
Good night.
My name is Jamal Francis. I am a recently employed social worker and musician and creative. So, the topic about music and, like everything that was spoken before I come up on the stage, because I want to talk on so much things, but it's just, it's going to be too long. I think that the main issue with society as a whole in this era of time is how malleable people are. Like these individuals, as Tanisha said, they're being fed this agenda constantly for generations. So now we have a lot of upcoming children that are lacking identity. And because they lack identity, it's like, all right, this is a white sheet and the world is throwing all kind of colors and things on top of this. And consuming those things constantly is going to make people that have no identity feel like, okay, maybe this could be my identity. And that stems from the home. Because people, I think millennials, Gen X is after or before us?
Gen X is before.
Before.
Gen Z is after.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Gen X would be my parents, Char's parents. I think.
My parents is
boomers.
They had me late in life, so.
But yeah, the older generations, they also experience the things that the new generation is experiencing now. Like the sexual music, the evil stuff, all that type of stuff. But it wasn't so blatant. So because of that, they had the opportunity to retain a lot of values, real life values. As a black individual, I'm glad that I never experienced, slavery. I had the oldest person in my family that I know of, born in 1919. That's my grandfather. He passed away in 2017 at the age of 97. And this guy, being born in 1919,
Been seeing some things.
you see some things, and he explained to me how life was, and he didn't really experience the whole "I'm gonna whip you in your face" type of slavery type of stuff. Even though it was going on at that time, he didn't get it. And I think the Caribbean kind of avoid that to some extent, because when that was going on in the States in the 50s and the 60s and stuff, we were chilling down here as far as I know. It wasn't bad. But, so, as time go by, this is going back to my point of how people have no identity. We have a sense of, okay, we're free now. So what we're going to do when we're free? We're going to do whatever we want to do because we couldn't do this before. So now, when it comes to music, we're going to say things that we couldn't say. And people are going to be like, wait, can we say that? Oh, shoot, we can say that. and they're just going to roll with that until they turn into something that's like outlandish. For example, I don't know if you guys remember Kids Bop.
Sure do.
You know, Who Let the Dogs Out, all that type of stuff, and you know, they can't make Kids Bop no more. You can imagine having a Kids Bop rated Cardi B song. That would be insane. But what are they gonna say? You know?
They can. It's too explicit. There's no way to make it clean.
So like
they be trying though.
So like what
you ever seen them kids videos on YouTube? The, like Gracie's Corner type stuff? It's not Gracie's Corner, but it's like them other ones and they try to remix the really explicit songs. It's ridiculous. I'm like, oh.
But yeah, so to what you guys said before Justin came off the stage, where you know it's going to reach to a point where it breaks, because look, the example that I just gave, Kids Bop, like can't do that no more. Everything has a limit, and you know, who am I to say? But I feel like we're reaching that tipping point where okay, this is going to be too much. You know, like because it's always too much. The young men, eventually they're gonna get tired of having someone else forge their identity for them. When they get sick and tired of being sick and tired of the lifestyle that they think they want to live. All of the people that are entertaining all of these sexual things, and they know they ain't really called for that, but that's just what's in, they're going to realize, man, this is not me, this is not what I like, you know? But it's like, what is going to make them reach to that point? Because I truly feel we are all God's children, and no matter what we into, we have a calling in us to discern good from bad. And some people like to say, oh, I just bad, I ain't got no heart, and all that kind of stupidness. That's people talking from a place of hurt, because it's love that we got inside of us, you know? So I think that as time goes by, people going to fall in place, you know, because everything must fall in place as how God intended for it to be. That's all I really got to say right now, because I can just talk a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to say that people are lacking identity, and because of that, the world is how it is, and we need to get leaders in place, like my brother from Antigua said, that could set an example for the people that are underneath them, because anybody could become a leader, right? But you have to have a good example set before you for you to become that leader. So now if you have somebody to the top and they're just like, whatever, I don't really care, just do what you gotta do, come and go. That's how the people to the bottom will operate. And the people to the bottom, believe it or not, they have people looking up to them. So, you know, exactly. So, set an example and people will follow. If you show love, love will be reciprocated. It's as simple as that. It might not be easy all the time, but if you constantly send that vibration and frequency of love, 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 it got to be that. Could never be hate, you know? So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jamon. Very thoughtful perspective, very introspective. I like that. Yeah, I definitely. You got that most.
Just a short.
For this one?
1 cent instead of the 2 cents.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I would add my 2 cents. 1 cent.
Yeah, 1 cent to add to this question before we wrap it up.
I got a 1 cent.
Okay.
From the time you asked it. I'm going to say this, okay? Authenticity. You know? And if you ask yourself the question, I know I put it in an experience, you know? When you first fell in love with someone or something, what was that feeling? All right, now I asked that question. I'm going to bring you back to where I'm at. That's where you find yourself out of trauma, when you finally take that first breath. That final let go. when you drop your bait as a fisherman. All right, now, let me keep it snappy, right? We are frequency. Back to what Mr. Hatch said. I don't agree. You want to know why? Because if you're exercising, if your muscles are burnt up on steroids, you're going to burn out. If you're only going to utilize your own resources, solar energy, renewable energy, internal energy, angers, frustrations, if you fix the tweaks inside of you first, your engine, your tire will run better. Your environment will be better. Those who drive on a better road get a better experiences going to work. So now, your aptitude, your mood is better going into work. We live in a societal experiment, guys, if you haven't realized. And we're just pointing out factors of where they changed control panels, okay? What we have to do is understand our own frequency. You are who you are. You love what you love. But what's the source? You have to find positive source. When you find positive source, then we have to connect those sources, and that's what makes cells, organisms, boom, 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 boom. Now we become gods, in our own light. We are all leaders. We are all followers in our own light because you have to grow. I don't want to talk too much, but truthfully, let's keep it real. If you want to be better, nobody can make you better.
Okay, thank you. That was very thoughtful. All right, I have one more segment. We can keep it short. I just have one person come up if y'all want to. This one is called, I guess I didn't give a resolution for that. Well, I think we did kind of wrap that up. Y'all had a lot of resolutions for me, so actually I ain't gonna give my personal one. Moving on, my last segment is called Local Colloquialisms. It was kind of inspired about different slang and words in context of certain cultures. I'm gonna give a quick little anecdote about why I thought about this. I don't know if my friend in the crowd think he is. Might be. Anyways, I have a TikTok video that went a little bit viral, not really. A few thousand people saw it. And it was about the word empress, which I got a lot of mixed feedback. Empress. Yes. So, if I was to hear that word with any context and somebody just called me it, I would probably think of it as the equivalent of somebody just calling me queen, African queen, black queen. I would take it as a compliment. But in the context I first heard it here, obviously, it's a different place, so I'm still learning things. It's my 8th month here, culture shock, cultural adaptation, all those things are a thing. So I didn't know if it meant anything. Well, I got the impression from somebody else that it meant something else, and that's why it changed my perspective of it. So the first time I was called it was by a Rasta man. I was just out and about. I think I was in Cane Bay, and my friend laughed about it. I kind of have RBF, so I don't know if he took it as me making the face at the man. Honestly, it had nothing to do with him saying the word empress itself. I would just said hello, whatever. I don't know how my facial expression was perceived. I didn't have any particular thoughts about him saying that or anything. But my friend laughed about it and they were like, do you know what that means? And I was like, oh, you can hear me better. My bad, y'all. And I was like, why are you laughing about that? They were like, do you know what that means? I'm like, no. Explain it for me. They're like, they think that you're a Rasta woman. And I was like, okay. I'm not sure where they got that from. I did have a scarf on that day and like a little garb, I guess. I don't know. I bought it for my trip to Dubai. So maybe it looked like that. I don't know. Which I don't necessarily think, I'm not offended by that. That is not anything that I subscribe to, but we're all God's children, so I accept and love people however they are, whatever they believe in. That ain't my personal thing, and I'm not going to judge you for what you believe. But I also don't want to be associated, I guess, with anything that I'm not. So I just didn't necessarily get the connection between me having locks and it automatically meaning that I was Rasta. So I heard it, and it's so crazy because I was never called it that before that occasion since I've lived here. But then, I think at least once a week after that occasion, I kept hearing people call me it. So I was like, are they referring to me because they think that I'm a Rasta woman? Or are they just saying it in general, as in, you're a beautiful black woman, and just giving me a compliment in passing? So I posed the question to TikTok, maybe the 5th time that somebody said something to me, because I would say about half the men who said it to me, I can't judge off of people's appearances, but they appeared to be Rasta men. And then the other people were just random men that said it to me. So I asked TikTok because I was like, I don't want to go off of just one person's perception or what they said. You never know if it's the truth or not. Most people affirmed in my comments and they said, no, it's just a compliment. Doesn't mean anything. And that's what I thought of it. I think of it as a positive thing. And a lot of people were in my comments thinking I was an idiot. And they're like, you're stupid. Why don't you know what that means? Or why would you even ask me that? Empress means empress, which literally means like the widow of an emperor, which is not obviously what anybody was trying to call me. So technically, if we're going by the actual definition, that is not what anybody was referring to me as. So I don't know why they tried to play me like I was stupid. But, you know, I think it's important that when we're in different cultures and different cultural contexts that we're aware of things and that we're trying to learn. My sole goal by asking that question was to learn what it means in this culture just so I know how to move about in public. I'm not going to be offended by it. I ain't going to say nothing rude to anybody just because they assume that. I just want to know if that's what people are thinking. So it connects because my question, I was going to pose a question to people, but actually I just kind of want to do a little interactive thing. I want people to teach me Crucian slang and things, and I will use something that's similar, either Philly slang or something else I've learned and picked up along other places that I've lived, just so you can see how different things mean. You guys know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do have something.
You do? Okay. Just so people can see how things mean different things in different contexts. Stop.
I was trying to stay out of your conversation.
Okay. And before he responds, I'm just going to preface my resolution is just that we have open worldviews and that your personal ideas or opinions of people, you shouldn't project them onto others. I think you should just accept people as they are, and you can get to learn about people by asking questions. I feel like cultural exchange is really nothing more than a conversation and opening it up instead of challenging people or trying to make it be a point of contention. Mr. Positive.
What am I talking to this?
Yes.
Okay, good evening. So I heard you with this conversation about Empress.
Yes.
And I'm going to tie it to your previous conversation about raunchy conversation.
Okay.
Okay, so when somebody calls you Empress, you're right, they're not calling you the widow of emperor. But they're saying, you know, like a respect a virtuous woman, you know, you carry yourself ladylike, you know. But when we say ladylike now, that's not with all your booty showing and all your every business, every part of you showing. So there's a thing now that's common, you know, in the raunchy thing, and people feel like the less you have on, the more, you know, sexy you are. But if you just want to be sexy, then you want to be a sex tool. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a virtuous woman, you can cover your curves. And, you know, to me, it's a lot sexier when something slightly hugs your curves and when it squeezes you tight and you can see all your piece of your cells. You follow me?
Comfortable.
So I think people lose, you know, so when some people just say it casually, but when somebody tells you, like, look, consider your empress, that means you're carrying yourself ladylike. Okay, when you say ladylike, there's a lot comes along with that. You know, it's not being a female, it's being ladylike. You understand me? Unfortunately, the trends of the world today, and I'm old school, so people say, you can take your old ass and go where you're going positive. But the truth is, you know, when you want to take somebody, you know, men like to party, especially boys, we like to party, we want to get our groove on. But when we want to take somebody home to mama, we want to take an empress, we want to take somebody who is virtuous, we want to take somebody who is ladylike. We don't want to take somebody who is in the club in a handstand, you know, kicking the legs up in the air with all the crutch showing. You follow me? That might be sexy to somebody and I might want to take you home for a smash. But I don't want to take you home to mama.
Right.
You follow me? And so when you keep in mind, and I think ladies have to keep this in mind because they set the trend. You know, you can control what we do. But if all you're showing yourself as is some kind of sex tool, then what are you going to get except smash?
Exactly.
And then when we gone, you're going to say, what? You don't want to jump over a cliff and act crazy. I'm just saying, talking about keeping it real. People say things, but how you live ain't matching up with what they're saying.
That's true.
And if you want to be treated like a queen, like an empress, you got to carry yourself a certain way. Other than that, they just coming for a smash and they gone. You know, so I'm just saying. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Okay? Same thing with men. I mean, women like progressive men. Okay? If you ain't know how to put those pennies together and get your act together, that's why, you know, and it's really hard in a way because it's like sometimes you don't have nobody. Women watch each other, you know. And if you allow some a guy and nobody pick you up, you seem to be down on your luck. One person pick you up and all of a sudden everybody watches and say, hey, well, she likes him. Especially if it's somebody like that has some status. We're like, what? If she likes him, then all of a sudden they're going after the same guy. And, you know, he's got himself in this. Follow me? So this will get real deep and heavy of a conversation. But just to get back to the word empress, some people use it casually. Even some people you talk about, most of the people that told you that and had dreadlocks, you assume that they're Rasta. Now let's understand everybody with dreadlocks ain't Rasta, which is another conversation we could have as well. Okay, so again, it's about righteous living. That's what Rasta is. Like empress and those kind of talk, that's virtuous living. Doesn't mean you're holier than thou and your shit don't stink, but it means you try to carry yourself upright. Okay, everybody is with fault.
Yep, that's true.
That
did help clarify.
Situation for you, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm honored. I was gonna say that's what most people say in the comments too, so I take it as a compliment. That's a blessing. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, it's something to encourage you to keep on. Whatever you're doing, it's like saying, hey, girl, whatever you're doing, you're looking good doing it. Keep on. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Beyond the smash. And that's why, ladies, if I can tell you anything else, you know, you're beyond the smash, you know. If that's what you're into and that's fine. But if you're really trying to look for a guy that you want to hold on to, you gotta be beyond the smash. And if all you're showing is smash, that's all you're gonna get, smash. You know, because at the end of the day, I don't want to walk home with somebody who's showing all her business to everybody. You hide your money, right? You hide your jewelry. You hide your treasures, right? Then don't you?
Yes.
You hide your treasures. So why do you think it's okay to show all your valuables to everybody? I'm just saying.
True.
I'm that kind of guy, you know. I don't want everybody seeing my treasures. Same way like I won't walk home with a tight squeezy pants with all my nuts hanging out. Hello? I'm just saying this conversation too real for you. I'm just saying you want real conversation.
No, I'm
that type of guy.
with you. I feel you.
Good. I'm done. Finish any more slide?
What happened?
Okay, we done? I'm done? That's good. I'm on.
I just letting you talk. I'm listening. I agree with that. I feel like how you present yourself to the world is important, and that's definitely going to affect people's perception of you. 130% agree with it. You think I would feel it? I was feeling it. I get it. And I appreciate it. I want to say shout out to all the people who have said that to me. Thank y'all. If that's the context you're in, I really appreciate it. Miss Taniqua's back.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I totally agree with Positive. And what he just said is very meaningful because the way that you present yourself, you know, not only within how you dress and all these different things, but it goes deeper. Goes just like you just gave an identity to someone based on the way that they speak. You know, you said you want us to teach you Croix dialect. Well, Croix dialect is just basically our way of saying things. Just like how somebody who resonates with just a level-mindedness is not necessarily a Rasta. And like you said, you know, being a Rasta, having dreadlocks doesn't make you a Rasta. And Rasta is something of your heart, the way that you operate in life. Like the song said, right, Ninja? You don't have to be dread to be Rasta. It's a divine conception of your heart. It's the way you choose to live, the way you choose to move through life. Now, I just want to say this to you. And I'm going to tell you this, woman to woman. You know, I realize that you look for, you look a lot for not acceptance. I'm trying to find a word, but like somebody gave you a compliment. That's all it was. You're beautiful. They love the way that you carry yourself. You understand me? Validation is what I'm looking for. So now, instead of you taking it, sure, this person took the time out to compliment me. You try to see what other people think about what somebody said to you. It is how you felt in the moment. It is how the person said it to you. When you go and look for validation from others or insight from others, guess what? Everybody has their own opinion.
That's true.
So now you're going to be lost in the wind, feeling confused. Now, before positive came up, you said, you started to talk about your locks. Imagine if that day you chose, I ain't no Rasta. I gotta cut my locks. I gotta loose out my locks. Because this is defining me. You can't allow anybody to give you an identity or to allow their opinion to shape who you are. Shar, who are you?
Is that a question?
Yes, I'm asking you a question. Who do you think you are?
Never had to describe myself. I don't know.
I would love for you to try.
Okay. Let's see. The world defines me as black. My skin is brown. So I guess if you had to label me.
Who does Shar
Who do I
say
I am?
And if you don't know
strong, resilient, expressive, sensitive, God-fearing. Yeah, that's number one. Okay. Like to say I'm funny too.
You are really funny.
I hope so. Caring, empathetic. I'm trying to think of a word to describe it. Curious. That's the best word I can say. Inquisitive. Open-minded woman.
Yes. So let's do this. You know how people seal a letter? Let's take and not only seal you, but put a stamp on who Shar is. You see all that you just said? Anything else that comes, who you think Shar is?
Maybe a cool person.
Now, if you didn't like that opinion, all your opinions is all that matters. Only God's opinion matters. TikTok is going to they're going to run you down the road.
They sure do.
They're going to make you question yourself. They're going to make you question everything about yourself. You're going to wonder, should I wear this dress? Because if I wear this dress, they're going to think I'm a Rasta. If I have my hair like this, they're gonna label me as that. But at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, you see Shar. You know who Shar is. I'm just getting to know you. You've been with yourself from the day you were born. You started to identify yourself at like probably 8, 9, 10, figuring out the things you like and you don't like, the people that you do like, the energy you like. You understand me? And it just grew from there. I want you to take from today this. Nobody but God and yourself, and not just your elders and your parents and stuff like that, matters. And even them, their opinions is their opinions. You understand me? I know who I am. I know that I am Tiniqua Latisha D'Altier Knowles. I'm a very open-minded person. I see in different perspectives. Just like the young man who came up and stated that he's an artist, and asked the question. He felt attacked. But I just want to say this. I have sons. I have 2 sons. And I allow them to see the difference between good and bad on their own. Because in reality, we were given free will. We can't force anyone. Take, for instance, this generation, a lot of us felt like we were forced into a certain lifestyle. My mother forced me to go to church, so I ain't going to church no more. You understand? I couldn't listen to this, I couldn't do that. I had to come inside before the street lights come on. My children, me ain't even raising my children like that. Go outside and play. Go outside and do whatever you want. Forcing somebody, like he says, it makes them sneak and try to do things. So when I was speaking on erotic music or very violent music, I wasn't attacking anybody who enjoys it. You enjoy what you enjoy. That is your identity. You understand me? We were speaking on a personal perspective from what we think what's the actual cause of that. Now, you see what he said though, right? What's so wrong with when I go to the gym and I walking out? That'll pump me up. Well, I applaud you for taking that energy and point it to positive use. You understand me? But not everybody does that. Not everybody has the the strong mindset to say,
To do that.
I like these artists, I love this beat, but I'm not going to go out and use it in the streets. I'm going to use it to get me pumped. He mentioned rock. You know, I kind of like rock, you know, and just like he said, these people, they come out, they push this music, but that is not how they live their lives. Well, guess what? They push it because there's a certain crowd that likes it. And like the young man behind the camera said, after a while, it's going to reach to a limit or a point where, okay, this is too much.
Yep.
We can't even have children, kids back to remix it.
Yep.
They could barely remix it on the radio, right, Ninja? You understand me? When it goes on the radio, they blurt out the bad words, but they can't blurt out the bad influence behind of it because that is the entire song. Now, for the young man that is aspiring and he's doing his music, you know, he has his music published, nobody is saying how you have to do it. If that's a way for you to stress relief, fine. Amazing. I applaud you for finding an outlet to utilize it for that purpose. But understand that when you do so, you're doing so with opening doors for individuals to take it a different way, to use it and just ride on it. You understand me? Not saying that Lil Baby bad or these other people bad. No. That is their genre. That is their that's their talent. That's where they thrive in. Okay, fine. But does it weigh out, you know, in a scale? You know, so for him, I just want to applaud him for stepping up, first of all, embracing his talent and finding his comfortability. But you realize that some artists, they start here and they end up all the way over there positive sitting down. At the end, when they reach 35, 40, because it's like, I no longer fit into this group. The reason why is the group that you put yourself into was the group that was accepting you. Your talent could be utilized in so many different ways. You could rap, and your rap could be like the one that went up against, Kendrick Lamar. He speaks so elegantly. You know, he goes into depth with his music. Yeah, he don't get his times when they go clash and all of that. But they actually find different roots to rap about. You can rap about war. You can rap about all them things. But not pushing it to say, yes, this is okay. You can rap about this is what it is. This is how it is. And then in the midst of it, saying how it should be, how we want it to be. You know, so I don't want anybody to feel attacked when I give my opinions, because like I said, and I understand what it, and I appreciate when he said, you know, don't force something because you're going to cause them to run and hide and go and find something even worse than you were trying to prevent from them to see. You understand me? That's why I try to give a certain level in parenting. All right, so you don't want to listen to me? I'm going to tell you, just like he said, sitting down, listening to Biggie Smalls, and having their grandparent or their parent tell them, this what he meant by this what he meant by that. Well, I kind of do the same thing when it comes to my children. Do you understand what he's saying? Do you know the meaning behind of it? You understand me? Do you understand the pain that came from their actions? You understand me? And so just bring it all back together, Shar. I love the fact that you take the time to go so in depth into things, but I don't want you to allow that curiosity to change who you are. So while you investigate, when you look into things, make sure you stay firm. We done already stamp you. Sure. Watermark. You understand? And nobody could change that unless you see a flaw that you want to elevate. Unless you want to scratch that up. I ain't liking this part of me, so that's no more. I could come and call you whatever name I want to call you. You gonna take it in? You gonna allow it to rule who you are? You have beautiful locks.
Thank you.
And there's a lot of meaning behind of it. Strength. You understand me? There's culture. Not just Rasta. Not just Bobo. You understand? You ain't gotta go and eat ital all day long because you get locks. And even so, because a man don't have locks, don't mean that he's not divine within his heart. You, to me, are an empress. The way that you carry yourself, your independence. You understand me? There's so many definitions of different words, Shar. And being a writer, you have to learn that. So everybody has their definition. What is your definition? So when you ask them, your next TikTok should be, I am grateful for all of your opinions, your meanings, and even your criticisms in regards to me asking. But if I don't ask, I would never know. And now that I know and I understand, I appreciate the compliment. And I know who I am. I don't take the fact that it comes from a Rasta man, a Bobo, a regular man. Because when I had one time somebody called me a queen, and just like you, somebody laughed. You know what queen mean? And I said, I know what he meant. I know what they mean. And I know me. Your meaning is pointless when it doesn't even have a place in the center of what was going on. You understand me? That's like me coming up here and we talking about this, and then I jump into talking about chicken and fries, and they have nothing to do with what empress or personality or perspectives or anything like that. That's like when I come up to answer a question, instead of answering your question, I defer and bring in my own perception or my own question on top of your question, rather than listening, comprehending, and actually going with the flow. You know, you already had your set tone. You know, you already had your list of questions. I'm a radio host. I'm an author. And on my radio, I do interviews. So I have my list of questions. And even so, questions come up in the middle of it too. You know, just like we had today. In the midst of everything, it's shifted. You know, so I just want you to take from what I said today, you know, whether it's empress, goddess, or whatever the case may be, you know, because we all have our own opinions. Note to self what the person means. You understand? And like Positive said, it's about how you carry yourself. You should feel honored for somebody to see you and label you as an empress. You want to know what I hate? The term of endearment of the B word is being used so loosely, just like the N word. You understand me? And then they get vexed when somebody else say it. Why are you getting upset when you call your friend, you call your sister them these things? You understand me? These are not words that are meant to be term of endearment. They were meant to bring us down. But then we have gotten so comfortable, so like nonchalant with it. It's like you can't. Yes. Excuse me. Don't you dare call me. You understand me? If you can't find a word to call me, guess what? My name is Tiniqua Latisha the Altier Knowles. Just like yours is Shar, and nobody can change that. Guess what? That's what I would say. You understand me? I don't understand that word. I don't reside with that word, but I appreciate your compliment. Right there. You know, and thank you so much for having me. And my book is finally published.
Yay!
Yes.
What's the title? Tell the people.
Words Have Power, devotional self-help journal, along with my next book, When It's All Said and Done. You know, When It's All Said and Done is a memoir of my life. You know, I use different names or whatever, but it's basically a reflection from where I am to where I've been and my steps through life. my devotional